Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Swaby.
Yeah.
And this is a Suave Take. Welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today we just want to give you guys a little brief dive into our fashion past and like our journey up until this point. So how we found our own personal style, all of our influences up until this point, kind of just growing up and developing a love for fashion.
Yeah.
So let's just get right into it.
Alright, so for us, both of us really, it started at an extremely young age. So basically as a little kid, you know what I mean? I had no clue what fashion was really. I just really like cool logos. So I remember as a kid, I was really into like the polo logo. I just thought it was a sick little thing. So whenever I went out, I kind of always had to be seen in like some polo gear. And mind you, this is when I'm about like 5 years old, around there. So that's how like I guess it all began really. And then, you know, building on that, I kind of had my influences as a kid, and they're all really like musicians that I really liked at the moment. And honestly, like both of our influences, like musicians wise, are very similar. So
yeah, started with Kanye.
Yeah, we grew up loving Lil Wayne, Kanye, Tyler the Creator. So those were like the three main guys really for both of us. And then yeah, it definitely influenced me and how I like to dress at that age. So I remember the first guy I really got into was Lil Wayne, and this was around like, I don't know, maybe grade like 6 or so. I remember I always used to see him in like, you know, his like signature like baggy aesthetic. I didn't really know what brands he was in really at the time.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wanted to like emulate that like baggy streetwear look that he had going on. That was what I was in. Building on to that, got into more Tyler the Creator around like the end of elementary school, so like grade 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Also another thing that was really popping were like caps. You know what I mean? Because as a kid, you didn't walk around with that much money, and you know, just you can buy like a cap, a $30 cap here and there. Yeah. Snapbacks were cool. So got into that, got into Tyler the Creator a lot.
Like he's always wearing hats too. So
Yeah. But then he introduced us both really to Supreme.
Yeah.
Which is like how we got into the whole streetwear realm really. Yeah. Honestly, he just made everything look so cool.
Yeah, that was like my first time ever seeing Supreme was on Tyler.
Yeah.
And like early Tyler, obviously he was influenced by Pharrell. So there's a lot of Bape there too. And I saw it on Lil Wayne too. So like Bape and Supreme coming up, like that's kind of what it was. I wasn't so much into the baggy aesthetic. I was more into like the skater aesthetic because obviously I like Lil Wayne and I like Tyler. So it was kind of like a easy transition. So I was wearing like skinnies, Vans, and like snapbacks and things like that. So entering high school, I was really into like Nike basketball, and that was like really popular too at the time. Like even in fashion, the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the KD's, like those were very, very popular. So this is like 2012, 2013, like grade 9-ish.
Basically the same thing. Again, it was still like a lot of influence from Tyler. I really wanted Supreme. I remember I would rock like the camp caps all the time.
Yeah.
Again, just like a cheap, easy thing I could get into at the time. Always had a love for like basketball shoes, Jordans, and then Nike basketball, looking to like Kobe's, LeBron's, all that stuff.
All that.
Yeah. That basically carried on throughout high school up until basically the time where we met.
We met in 12th grade. We both, I guess our passion for Nike basketball shoes got us a job at Nike. That was both of our first jobs, right?
Yeah.
Met him. This is 2016 now, so, and this is like the height of like hype beast like culture. Like 2016, like if you remember, it was just like raging, just hype beast, like big Jordan 1s, like all that. So now we're just trying to get some money because we just got a job, right? So we kind of just dove right into that. Actually, just quick little story about like how we met. Actually, at Nike, he wasn't very talkative at all. I think he was there. You were there like maybe a month or two before me.
Couple months,
Yeah, I got hired like right after the New Year.
I was there since like the Black Friday, so November.
Okay. Yeah, he wasn't very talkative, so I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, he's not talking. Like, I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm not begging. But like, I was like very talkative amongst like the other employees. Like, I would just talk to everybody. And then one day I was just in my section. We were closing because like we were in high school, so we can only do the closing shifts. And he just like walked up to me in his Carmine 6s. I remember. Like, I used to wear those a lot. And he's just like, yo. I'm just like, yeah. He's like, do you like Young Thug? And I was just so taken back because like, what kind of question is that? And I'm just like, yo, I'm thinking like, mind you, he was very quiet and stuff, so I just assumed like he was into like just boom bap 90s rap or some crazy shit. So I'm like, I don't know, I can either cap and be like, nah, I'm into, you know, I like Biggie and all that, or I could just be like, yeah, like be myself. I'm like, bro, fuck it, like I'm not begging to be his friend anyway. I'm just gonna tell him how it is. I'm like, yeah, bro, I love Young Thug. He's like, word. He's like, would you like Barter 6 or Slime Season 1 better? I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn. I was like, bro, Slime Season 1. He's like, bro, facts. And after that, it was just like a wrap. Just like every shift, we would just be conversing about everything. Like, you started to open up.
We actually had a lot in common, honestly.
Like, so much. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And at Nike, like, we were known for being like at the hip, basically. Like, every shift, like, we get in trouble, we just be talking bad. Like, we're not, we used to like try to make us as far apart, like in the sections.
That shit never worked.
It never worked. It
never worked. And then we always went on break too. We like literally it was a shift was like, are you working? Alright. It was like basically chill. Honestly.
Yeah, like we would come and chill and talk shit. Yeah. So like we would just be conversing about all of our interests. And we were supposed to make a channel from back then, mind you. 2016, so that was 4 years ago. We were supposed to make a channel.
That would have looked real. I don't know if we'll even be here like with this channel doing the content that we're doing.
I think we would have progressed because our interests are still what they are.
You know what? That is true.
They would have just seen all of this. Everything we're talking about, you guys would have visually saw it.
It would have been like a sneaker channel, like a full-on like sneakerhead channel.
We tried probably just copy Kick Genius or something. So at this point, like, what are you wearing?
At this point, 2016. So this point, it was like the end of an era and the beginning of one too.
Yeah.
So basically,
skater style was out the door for me.
Yeah. During this time, like early 2016, I was still rocking with the whole like Jordan brand, like all that, Jordans, Supreme, all that. The thing that really flipped the switch for me was basically we were both in grade 12. We were both graduating that year. So we went on a senior trip. S-Trip is what they call it. So we went to Montreal. And if you know, in Montreal, they have Essence, which is like a luxury high-end retailer. At the time, I thought that, you know, it would be cool to walk into Essence, you know, see what all this is about. I remember I came that day fully decked out in my best outfit, all my best pieces on. Clip? No, we're not.
Okay.
No, we're not. But just for you to visualize, you're never gonna see the photo. Babe Shark hoodie, Carmine 6s, black joggers.
I love them black joggers, bro.
And Johnny Moore, I think about you sometimes, Cap. And I thought, I had to slap on the girls with my mouth too, and the long dangling Jesus Peace chain.
God, still has it.
I so do. Hey, if anyone wants a Jesus Peace chain, hit me up in my DMs.
It's so long.
Long shit, but you can get it cut. Anyways, walked into Essence. Style was killing shit. That was the freshest guy out, honestly. Walked in the store feeling like $1 million. Walked out with a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
I was just like, I felt so embarrassed. Like, just like after talking and conversing with...
Those guys know their shit.
Yeah, they know their shit. Shout out Mark from Essence. I doubt you're still there. It's been 4 or 5 years, but
it was like 4 years ago.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, damn.
Shout out Mark from Essence. And that trip, really, that's what flipped the switch for me. Because up until this point, we didn't really love fashion. We didn't really know much about fashion.
Still just pieces.
It was pieces and
just hype beast culture, really.
It was individual items that we thought that were cool, so we would buy them, try to toss them together, make it work. At the end of the day, like, it's just messy. You don't really look good in general. After that trip, it kind of really changed my whole mindset. Put in perspective, exactly, on how I look at clothing and how I want to dress myself and portray myself. So ever since that trip, I kind of came back with a different mindset. And this is when I really started getting into Rick Owens.
Yeah.
He was like the first like high-end designer I really discovered, and I was really messing with. It was just so different to me. It was so cool. The unique like cuts and silhouettes he would do and play with. I just kind of at one point I was dressed in like all black, like head to toe, because like
when we started hanging out.
Yeah. And I remember I like got rid of all my Jordans. And I bought a pair of Geo baskets and also the Rick Runners, the very first ones from the Adidas collab. I couldn't afford, you know, all the other Rick garments to, you know, pair up with it. So I just had to kind of make do with what I got. So I just decked it out all black with some cool sneakers, because again, we still came from that sneakerhead background. So so I thought I was killing at that point, and then that was basically the beginning and end of 2016 for me.
2016 for me, still a lot of Jordans, but like I would like try to up it a little bit. I mean, I had the shattered backboards because I knew, you know, like it meant something to people. So I had like that, like conscious. I started like having that mindset, and I'm like, okay, so I copped those. Like one of my first like bigger designer pieces that I copped were the 950s, the Yeezys. That shit was fire. Like I still love those boots to this day, honestly. So at this point, I'm just hearing more names. I'm getting a little bit hungry for like knowledge at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing Rick. I kind of want to dive into it a little bit. I still never really did until I got my first Rick piece that he actually talked me into getting. I was actually gonna cop a V-Lone hoodie that day, and he's just like, bro, fuck the hoodie. Like, I copped the green Rick Owens runners from 2016. Yeah, and I still have them to this day, so I'm very grateful that I listened to him. But yeah, just like that hunger for knowledge, and like that started to grow more too. So that really helped me with my style too. Just being on the internet, seeing people like Avery and Sanj and like all their different styles. Like they both were so knowledgeable and they both dressed so different from each other. So I'm like, okay, I can do that too. So this is like what, 2017 now?
2017, yeah.
2017, like I'm just trying to make the rigs work.
Yeah, this is when we really try to make the complete switch. You know what I mean? And it was like dipping our toe into it. At this point, really, I think what really helped us was going on YouTube, watching like, again, like you said, Sanjeev, Avery, Magnus, all them guys. We would shop like literally every other week. Actually, no, every week we would be downtown shopping. Yeah. So we would go into like Contraband, Holt Renfrew, Nordstrom, TNT.
Be around garments, seeing garments on people, how things move, what materials are we start to like really like start nerding out.
And we were just like, we just wanted to know more and more, honestly, because it was new to us. Again, we didn't really have like our own sense of style at this point yet. So we were still trying to discover ourselves, all that. So after that, we started putting some things together. Yeah, and then very basic.
Probably the biggest help in my development to this day is easily thrifting. I came to realize like all the hype shit. For one, I'm spending too much money on this shit. And two, like in 10 years, I'm not wearing any of this funny looking bait shit. I'm not wearing any of that. So I discovered thrifting, which is way cheaper. And it introduced me to a whole bunch of different shapes, colors, and all this stuff I could just play with. And like, I don't mind spending the money on that shit at that time because like it's way less than I was spending before. And I'm still getting the just that clothes addiction. I'm still like buying clothes, you know. So I'm still getting that. I think like 2017 when I started thrifting, like that's when I had the most fun with it. Yeah. You know, and then the ball started rolling.
For anyone that's looking to develop their own personal style or getting into fashion, thrifting's always a great option for you, right? Number one option, honestly. Because when you walk into a thrift store, like you got to go in with an open mind, you know what I mean? Like don't focus in on anything and just try to find as many cool things as you possibly can. Even if it's a size or two too big, if you find a good tailor, they can fix that.
Tailor, your best. That's your best option. You can honestly thrift and go to a tailor for the rest of your life. And you're good to go. You're good to go, honestly.
And it's very inexpensive because thrifting, a piece would be like what? $5 to $10. You go to a tailor, $10, $5 to $10, max. $20 max, depending on what it is, to get it tailored. And then, you know what I mean? You can play with a lot of different cuts, garments, and then really try to like, you kind of have to find yourself too, honestly. Kind of be brutally honest with yourself. What looks good on me, what doesn't look good on me, and just who you are as a person. Because the clothing really is like an extension of yourself. It's kind of like your way of expressing yourself and telling like a part of your story to someone just without having to say anything, really.
Along with that, like the knowledge I was gaining from just like watching shows and like just really tapping in like that. So I knew thrifting that I really liked prints. Like this is a thrifted shirt. I like prints and things like that. I'm like, okay, I know Dries, he does really nice prints. I know Prada, they do nice prints. So I know like, because of my thrifting background and like what I know in the designer realm, I know I could gravitate towards those brands. And I know they look good on me because I thrift.
That, and like again, saves you a lot of money because imagine if you had just like gone in blindly and just bought like all this high-end like designer stuff, you know what I mean, without knowing what works and what doesn't work for you. And then like a year down the line, you gotta get rid of this, gotta get rid of that. So that was 2017 for us. We started discovering some more new designers. And honestly, 2018 was basically an extension of 2017, but building on that. More trial and errors.
Every year has been an improvement.
2019, I feel like, was when we finally had some type of idea, you know what I mean, of like, what we wanted to do and what we wanted to do.
When you see me in 2019, like, you pretty much know what you're getting. I fell in love with silk. And like those type of like softer, natural fiber materials, flowing materials. Like loafers, wearing boots more casually. Like that was just a part of the style in 2019 for me.
So this is when like it started having almost like a uniform.
You know what I mean? That's what we built in 2019.
We had like staple pieces. So you'll always catch us in trousers. You'll always catch us in probably like a button-up shirt or a white t-shirt, loafers.
Like no, sneakers are pretty much out the question.
We didn't really rock with sneakers no more. Sneakers is like running out the house quickly, something casual. But when we're actually getting dressed to go somewhere, probably never wearing sneakers again. Carrying on to present day today. Now I feel like we have what we had in 2019 pretty much down pat. Like that style, that aesthetic, like that's like refined now.
That's like, I know if I'm going out, I'm probably gonna be in that. To the point where like it got pretty easy, like wearing what I was into,
Yeah.
and I almost was like yearning for like something else I could just like have fun with. I feel like it's always gonna be like this.
Yeah.
Like right now, like I'm really into like Kiko
Yeah.
and things like that.
So we're always constantly trying to like improve and just like find some new cool stuff that we can incorporate into our own personal style. The big takeaway from this, though, I feel like it's so important for you guys to just kind of like develop a sense of personal style for yourself and really just identify who you are as a person, right? And then like if you can see like all of our clothes that we own now, like before, like it was crazy. It was be one piece in, one piece out, like probably like simultaneously, because we were like, I'm done with this, I want this, I'm done, you know what I mean? But now that we have like a set style, we kind of like play into that, grab pieces, and then everything kind of meshes together. So it's easier to mix and match, and you know what I mean? You save a lot of money, and overall you're more comfortable because it's true to yourself.
Even your appreciation for things, like I can appreciate things on other people that I personally wouldn't wear. Just being around it, I really encourage you guys to do that, and that helped me so much in my development. And so that's pretty much
it. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. Honestly, we always look back every past year,
I'm like, yo, fuck
and
that.
we're always like, fuck, I can't believe I was really wearing that. So who knows, we're probably gonna roast ourselves a year from now, 2 years from now. So yeah, if you guys want to accompany us for the rest of the journey, remember to hit the subscribe button down below.
Yes, we're almost at 100.
Yeah, we are.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Remember to click that notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, and that's been us. Have a great day, guys, and thank you again for watching.
I hope you're recording.